How do you feel when someone criticizes you? It sucks, right? You work so hard and then they turn around and they're like, you're no good at this, or you haven't got the skills, or you should try something different. I've had it. You end up carrying that problem. It's like they criticize you way back there and they get on with their day. They're not even thinking about you anymore and you're still holding that. And instead of focusing on your skills, your zone of genius, on the difference that you can make, or just feeling good, which we all deserve to feel good, by the way, you're still caught up carrying that criticism. What I want to do in this video is just share my views and how I've been able to overcome criticism that's come up in my life, get myself in control when it comes to my emotions, because at the end of the day, it's not necessarily the criticism that matters, it's how you feel about it. So without any further delay, show reel. Handling criticism is not just something that is a nice to have in life. I believe it's a skill that is necessary to succeed in life today, and especially in business. If you've lived more than 5 minutes, then someone would have critiqued you or given you feedback at some point. How did you handle it? Did it lift you and empower you, or did it hold you back? There is so many people in the world who unfortunately have talents, have skills, because some manager on a power trip or some individual in their life is suppressing them and saying you're not good enough, you should give up on this project. And it's such a shame to hear these incredible talents go to waste. What I want to do in this video is share with you just 3 simple tips that have made a difference in my life, because doing my own businesses over the years, I've messed up a bunch of times. I've made mistakes. Some people have given me incredible feedback. Others have just critiqued me or tried to put me down. By using these simple techniques, it's helped me to power through. Now, I had to learn the hard way because there wasn't YouTube back then. I couldn't just go online and be like, how do I overcome these things? I had to dig deep and I had to find it within myself. Again, like all my videos, I don't want to share this with you from a place of I know better than you. I'm exactly the same as you. I've just been fortunate enough to use these techniques and implement them into my life. So what are they and how can they help you? Well, before I get into them, make sure if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, do that. Also comment below if there's something you're trying to overcome in your life and if any of these tips help you throughout the way. Number 1 is to know, are you getting genuine constructive feedback that can truly help you? Is it emotionally charged feedback? Because there's a difference between the two. The first one is factual, so it will come with very logical behavioral improvement, and that can be a great thing. So it's important that we take criticism and handling it as a skill, because if every time we get some feedback or every time we get someone say you can improve on something and we take it to heart and we take it personally, that, my friend, is ego getting in the way. So bear in mind, if it's factual feedback or factual critiquing, it's actually a really positive thing. Sure enough, you may need to swallow your pride in that moment. You may need to, I won't share just yet, which is step number 3, but you may need to just take it in and then think to yourself, okay, what can I do better here? Or if it's emotionally charged feedback or criticism, that's where the issue comes in, because if it's emotional, then that person won't really be giving you anything logical that you can work with. In that time, it's important that you know how to remove yourself emotionally from that feedback. I believe that every single bit of feedback that we get can be productive. So that's number 1. Know if it's coming from a place of facts or if it's coming from a place of emotion. With the facts, use those facts, make improvements in your life. If it's emotional, know to detach, because maybe that person's going through a bad day. Number 2 is to watch out for the gifts that we get in life. We all go around giving each other gifts, and I don't mean physical gifts, I mean gifts of kindness, gifts of your time, gifts of maybe mentoring someone or helping them through a difficult time. They all sound like great gifts, but what about if I was to give you a gift and then you opened it up and in there was a snake? Would you accept it? Chances are, no, you'd be like, what are you doing? You give it back to me. You see, criticism is very similar to this type of gift. It's when somebody gives you something and it isn't productive, it's not helping you. You do not have to accept it. Remember this, it's always your choice if you accept the criticism or not. And you can turn around and in that moment of confidence and that moment of courage, you can say, thanks for the feedback. However, I choose not to accept that right now. And then you can just move on. So that's number 2. The third and final step, and this is the key one, is to know when to pause. We all react in life. If you're driving in your car and the cars in front of you slam on the brakes, you'll do the same because you're reacting, because your mind's reaction mechanism is to protect you. However, when it comes to somebody giving you feedback or critiquing you, if we react straight away, we might be reacting from a place of emotion and not logic. The power of being able to pause, even for a few seconds, will allow that information to be passed from your emotional reactive mind to your logical or your prefrontal cortex, where you can actually respond without emotion, and you can take that feedback and see it as exactly that, as feedback, not as, oh, this person's just trying to put me down. The power of pause is so profound. You have to practice it. In some of my other videos, I talk about reacting to nothing. So even good news, taking a moment to breathe, take it in, take in all the information, pass it from your emotional brain to your logical. So there's my 3 steps. Bear in mind that handling criticism is not just something you either can do or can't do. It's a skill. It needs to be worked on. It needs to be conditioned. If you've enjoyed today's video, let me know below, and then from there I've got plenty more of these videos. Let me know what sort of questions you might have as well, and I'll do a video on that too. So thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow.